On 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you're gone.
In 2006, one of the best choices for street squids was this thing right here, the Honda CBR 600 F4i. It was a more relaxed motor that had a little bit more torque and comfier ergos for all those guys out there who wanted the look of a sport bike without the back-breaking pain of owning a proper 600. Fast forward 20 years and we have the Aprilia RS660, which is pretty much the go-to standard for street sport bike silliness. This thing has a parallel twin, it's a lot lighter and a little bit more aggressive while still having some relaxed ergos and some great street comforts, which raises the question, do you want to get the one from 2006, which has the inline 4, or do you want to get the modern one with all the fixins? We're going to find out today. Now, to help me out with this comparison today, I've brought my buddy Ben out, and he is a certified street squid. He used to own a ZX6, right? You had the, almost a brand new one.
Yes, yeah, I bought it probably 2 weeks before COVID shutdown started. And that was great for getting out of the house when all the roads were empty.
And you took it to the track once or twice, right? You spent most of your time on the street.
Yes, I did. I mean, the track was great and fun, but I live off of the street. I don't live off of a track. So.
Yeah. So you have a lot of familiarity running a 600cc Super Sport on the streets. And this is a little bit more relaxed, but it has the inline 4. It's got that screaming top end power band. You know, we're looking at about 110 horsepower here at 12,500 RPM and 48 foot-pounds of torque at 10,000 RPM, which this is true, I double checked. That's a lot of RPMs versus this thing, which redlines at close to 11,000 RPM. And you're getting your torque way sooner. This thing's about 100 horsepower and 50 foot-pounds of torque. So we actually have more torque out of this motor. And you've been riding it in.
Yeah.
In your experience, how did it feel just cruising around versus something like your 600?
It was good. There wasn't sort of the, I wouldn't say jerkiness, but the horsepower wanting to go.
Yeah.
The bike was happy to rev as high as I wanted it to rev. It was as torquey as I wanted it to be. It wasn't sort of, oh, it's good, compromised. It was good.
Yeah, that's one of the joys of these modern motorcycles is they've figured out what makes these fun, and they've given it to you in a package that has a lot more around it to help make the riding experience more agreeable, shall we say. But this thing is still a classic, and there are so many squids out there who would prefer to just go get one of these for like $3,000 versus one of these with all of the pieces of tech and all the good stuff on there, because this is what they want. They want that inline 4 screaming top end. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna take these things out on the road and see if that makes sense or if that's just the sort of silly, wanna go fast energy that these things kind of tend to draw out of you.
And we're both silly and we both want to go fast. So,
are you excited to get back on a proper 600?
Oh, I'm very excited. The inline 4 sound is just so hard to walk away from.
Absolutely. So let's get these things out on the road, but before we do, a quick word from today's sponsor, Flying Eyes. Flying Eyes makes the best pair of sunglasses for your ride because they're specifically designed to fit between your head and your helmet so they don't generate any pressure points. The stems are super flexible, and as a result, they're pretty much unbreakable. They've got a bunch of different styles of frames and lenses so you can mix and match and get exactly the look you want. Once you try out a pair of Flying Eyes, there is no going back. Click that link down in the description below and use the code SC10 for 10% off your order. All right, so mounting up on the bikes, how do you feel on the Aprilia? How's the position feel for you?
Yeah, it's definitely sporty. There's no doubt about it, but it's not uncomfortable.
Yeah, you're definitely scrooched up into a ball, but I can tell that your feet are lower than you would be on like a classic Super Sport.
Oh, right, yeah. Like, it's sporty but not unreasonable. On the ZX6, that was borderline unreasonable.
Yeah, that one was rough. I remember riding your ZX6 after you sold it to AF1, which, by the way, that bike we got from AF1, as you can see right there. If you would like to come and test ride this is their demo bike, which they have been taking to the track. We looked at the tires and they're all boogered up. Come check this bike out over at AF1, and they've got all kinds of awesome bikes, including occasionally inline 4.600s. I definitely feel like this bike is super long.
Yeah.
Like, I can't touch the nose on this thing.
Yeah, no, like, easy.
So let's just start these bad boys up. And this thing has an exhaust on there. It's got this like weird new exhaust on there that sounds really thumpy and awesome. Yeah, it's like stock plus.
Yeah. It looks stock, but it does not sound stock.
No. And then we have this thing, which is just, it's a 600.
Yeah.
All right. Let's go have some fun, shall we?
Oh. Don't need to tell me twice.
Oh man, that just straight up gets right to the heart of the matter. Is that there's something about revving out one of these bikes where you're actually experiencing the power and having to work for it that is a little bit fun, you know?
Oh yeah. There's a lot there, but it's not easy to get to.
Right, and when you get there, you feel this big rush. Like, it's just like, all right, now we're having fun. Now it's working.
Oh, now I'm definitely having fun.
You know, and that's when you really get into it. But talk to me about how you're feeling about the power on the RS660 right there. Because it's definitely a lot more immediate.
It's definitely more immediate, but when I see you pull away and I try and keep up, it doesn't feel... it could be I'm in the wrong gear. Like, definitely possible there. But just like cruising around, great power. Definitely immediate, definitely... I was saying this before we mic'd up and got cameras, but this doesn't scare me. There's a lot of power there, and I can use all of it.
There is something about that bike that is very friendly and approachable, isn't it?
It's like your best friend at the gym. Plenty powerful, but like always happy to see you. Like, not intimidating. Or he is intimidating if you don't know him.
I guess if we wanted to work that analogy out a little bit more, that bike is a lot like having a gym buddy who can, leg press like 300 pounds while you're putting 90 pounds on the machine, and he's like, dude, you're doing great, you're awesome. And then when your set is done, he's like, okay, you did awesome, but now you have to help me put on 300 pounds worth of plate on here so that I can actually do my work. You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly.
He'll tell you that there's more to be done.
Oh, yeah. He's so encouraging.
But yeah, he's like, you're going to do great, man. But then you watch him actually do the work, and you're like, oh, dude, come on. Really?
Yeah, there's definitely more bike here than I can wring out. But it's not far enough away that I feel like I need to be some superhero to get to it.
Yeah, like, so we're right now we're going through a more tighter, slower section of this road where you can really get after it if you want to, but this is usually where I'm just like, all right, I'm feeling the bike side to side, and this is a little bit longer in the wheelbase, and I can feel it being slower side to side. How's the RS feeling back there?
It feels, man, it feels good. We were trying to check out the rake and the trail and all the angles and things, but it feels good. It's smooth, but it's light enough to feel nimble. Like when when I move my torso, the bike follows very nicely.
The more modern motorcycles, the way they're set up, they definitely feel a little bit more telepathic now. Something about the way that the geometry is set up on them, they respond to your inputs a lot more intuitively. Not that this doesn't, but you definitely have to be like, okay, I am turning the motorcycle now.
Yeah, this is more like, oh, the road is turning, and then I'm just over.
So let's pull over real quick, because you've spent a lot of time on that, and I want to get you on F4i, just so that you can ride them back to back really quick. So there's a quick pullover spot right here, and let's swap bikes.
Sounds good. Yeah, I'm looking forward to hear just an inline 4 again.
Yeah, so mount up on there, and I just want to immediately get your thoughts on it, because you're just fresh off the Aprilia.
Ooh, the seat's like 3 feet longer. My legs feel more relaxed. My arms feel about the same.
Yeah. It's
yeah,
so long.
Yeah,
It's so long.
Ooh, and your mirrors are funky.
Yeah, that's what $30 on Amazon buys you, my friend. All right, so I'm going to mount up on the Aprilia here. Holy cow. This is so much lighter.
Right?
Oh, and that Brembo master cylinder feel is so much better than mine. I do feel what you're talking about the reach of the bars feeling roughly the same, but these bars are so much wider. This is a more modern setup, because modern setups prefer almost straight bars. You know, like a little bit of inclination on them, but straighter than what that one has, which they're really kind of back close to the tank.
Yeah, definitely.
Like a common mod on the F4i, if you're taking it to the track, is to grind off this little retention peg that's on there. Oh, God, that sound, though. Oh.
Yeah, my fingers hit the air tubes at lock.
Yeah, so right there's a little tongue that everybody grinds off so that you can kick these things out wider. All right, I'm gonna let you go first. Have some fun on the F4. Just remember, the suspension is set for a 100 and or probably a 90-pound woman, not a full-size dude. Oh, this is a better motorcycle. This is just a better bike. Wow, is it good?
That inline 4, though, come on. Ooh, yeah, I see what you mean about the torque not really being there.
Yeah, it's just, you really have to keep that bike singing.
Oh, but boy, does it sing.
After this, Ben's gonna go buy another 600.
I hate you. And as far as comfort goes, this is not unreasonable.
No, it really isn't. But holy cow, just sitting on the RS here, it feels so much tighter. It feels so much more purposeful. It feels more aggressive. The torque is instant. Like, kind of no matter where you are in the power band, if you want power, it has power for you.
Right.
Also, it has been so long since I've ridden a bike that has a auto blipper, and that is a nice piece of kit.
And that's a good auto blipper too.
Yeah, it really is on this bike.
Makes riding through traffic not unreasonable.
Yeah.
For the daily ability of that bike, you get cruise control, you get an auto blipper, which when you're sitting in traffic just going first, second, it's nice.
Oh, I got a nice pop out of that. Oh, I prefer a V-twin sound, and I know this is a parallel twin, but something about the way Aprilia does their timing makes it sound more V-twinny than the R7. It just has a really nice rumble.
Yeah, and that's a good pipe. We'll have to find out who makes that one.
Yeah, this is really nice. The guys at AF1 have set this demo bike up so well.
Ooh, yeah, even just pulling up that hill, the lack of the torque is noticeable.
Oh, man.
We're both just saying, oh man, over and over, because these are fun bikes.
They really are. I will say, though, I do miss how roomy the F4i is. Back in the day, when bikes were just a little bit more chilled out, they were bigger vehicles, and so they're more accommodating for taller people. So if you're a taller guy, these, like, I'm barely just fitting on this. I'm pushing the upper limit of tall guy on the RS.
Right, and I bet you can feel the passenger seat behind you in the small of your back.
Oh, I definitely can. Yeah, it's right in my tailbone.
I mean, for me, it was just like tickling my tailbone. So if you're any taller than 6'6",
But for the kind of street application, which is really the way that I wanted to look at this, more so than the track, because honestly, if I was on a racetrack, I would want the 600. I would want the screaming top end because it's a lot more appropriate to keep a bike on the top end there.
right.
It makes more sense. But for the street, I don't know. I'm having a hard time saying that the F4i makes more sense. You know what I mean?
Absolutely doesn't make more sense. Do I like the sound of an inline 4 more? Yes.
That's fair.
Even if you're, what, 20 minutes from a twisty road, the torque on the 660 is so much better.
Another thing I will give the F4i, besides the torque and the sound and, you know, just how kind of agile and darty it feels, one of the negatives is this parallel twin is quite vibey. And when you're just sort of cruising on the F4i, if you're just cruising, it's very smooth. Say sub 7,000 RPM.
Oh, absolutely. Those mirrors high in the rev range are useless.
I feel like this bike is honestly more accommodating to the guy or gal who wants to have fun on a twisty road without really pushing it. You know what I mean?
Right.
I'm not going to say you're going to reach the limit, because you're not, but you're in the power band and you're having more fun faster on this thing than you are on the F4i. Like, I just appreciate how instant the power is.
Right.
You don't have to worry, oh, am I in the wrong gear for this corner? Is this the right spot for me to be in?
For gearing on that bike, it feels very like, is there an ideal gear? Yes. But whatever. It's fine. For this bike, if the revs aren't high,
You're waiting. You're really waiting on that bike if you're in the wrong spot.
right.
Okay. Wow, does that feel good? Holy cow. I forgot how good this motorcycle really is. This thing is just mwah. It's so nice.
I know food metaphors are lazy, but just going through the corners, that bike feels like milk. Like, it's smooth, it flows. This bike is not as bad as honey. Maple syrup, maybe? Like, it's smooth and it flows, but it's not telepathic.
Yeah, there's just something about the modernity and the components on here that just dwarf what was capable in 2006. But now it's time for the real test. We have to go out on the highway and we have to do a quick little roll and see which one's faster, because of course we have to do that. We can't get on sport bikes and not do a roll.
No. Well, I promise to keep the front wheel down.
Good luck pulling the wheel up on that thing.
It is very long.
It's so long. Yeah, good. If you could pull up, if you If you can pull the wheel up on power alone, I will be impressed. All right, let's hit the highway and see which one's faster. All right, let's do it. On 3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, you're gone. Wow. Okay, that's actually impressive. So I'm pretty sure I got the jump on you.
Blame it on lag.
Yeah, and then you got into the power band and you were gone. So let's try it one more time, but this time let's both be in 5th gear. So just take it all the way up to the top and then just shift down 1. And then we're just gonna take this exit ramp, okay? You see this straight run we got?
Yeah. So
All right.
I'm at like 5,500.
Yeah, so form up
Yep.
and on 3. 1, 2, 3.
Bye. Oh wait, there we go.
Now you're in the power band and now you're gone. Okay, interesting. Very interesting. I was expecting the Honda to just get crushed. I really was. And you were there. I never left you and you never left me. If we were going to keep going, you would have.
Right.
So, some interesting results there.
Yeah. Glad we did this test.
Whoa. Wow. Okay. That legitimately surprised me with a wheelie. Okay. Alright, so we have been goofing around on these bikes. We've squidded on them. We've done some twisties. We've been on the highway for a good period of time. What do you think about these bikes? Which one would you go for? It's your money, and you can just buy one. You don't get to keep the extra cash, because this is obviously more expensive. So you get enough money to buy one of these bikes and just the bike, nothing else. Which one do you pick?
I think I gotta go with the RS, but my heart loves an inline 4. So if I could put an inline 4 in that, no problem, no question. But yeah, I think I'd go with the RS. The torque is nice. The engine has just about the horsepower. Maybe a little less, but like, that is such a sweet bike, such a fun bike. This isn't a bad bike at all. I love this bike. But I gotta tip my hat to the RS660.
I think I'm in the same camp too. Don't get me wrong, I also love my F4i, and I'm not getting rid of it because I enjoy just the stupid inline 4 lifestyle. You know, I love being able to zing it up and run it through the gears and listen to it scream, you know?
It zings so good.
Yeah. This sounds better. I prefer the V-twin sound, and Aprilia's done some magic with this parallel twin to make it sound like a V-twin. But this is just a better motorcycle. We've come so much farther that just getting a 600 now is kind of pointless. If you're looking for a fun bike that can do it all, you just got to go with the RS660, I think. Which is kind of an interesting world where, you know, we've both come to the same conclusion. Usually you get two people on two different bikes, you're going to get 5 different opinions. But it seems like we've done a pretty decent job of determining that this is the smarter choice.
And after a 20-year difference, that's a good change.
Yeah. You know, there's still a place for the F4i, but the RS660's carrying the torch now.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, guys, on that note, I think we're going to wrap this one up. We got to take this bike back to AF1. We're stuck in traffic, so it's less interesting to watch. If you enjoyed this one, let me know down in the comments below. Big shout out to Ben for coming out and hanging out with me and riding bikes.
Oh, anytime.
Yeah, I'll keep dragging you out by your hair to come ride some motorcycles with me. Are you good with that?
All right.
Big shout out to Flying Eyes for sponsoring the video. Let us know your thoughts. RS660, inline 4, 600, what do you want? Let us know down in the comments. We'll catch you guys in the next one. See you later.